Okay, so it seems that this topic continues to be an extremely popular topic over on like VTuber Twitter, right? And obviously this is concerning Denims. Now, we talked about Denims quite a bit on this channel recently due to this clip that came out of her essentially going after this chatter and going through their following list and making fun of them for following VTubers, right? And well, not only that, but she decides to kind of generalize a lot of the VTubers as like goon tubers. Now, I thought that was pretty interesting, especially considering the fact that she does have an OF herself. And, you know, as I said, she's kind of alienating her own audience there by making fun of them for kind of following those people. But again, it is very interesting, and we've had even more responses from a lot of the people featured on this list, because again, although she doesn't directly single out any of these people, a lot of them would feel, you know, kind of offended being generalized like that, especially whenever a lot of them do not make that kind of content that she's referring to. Now, yes, some of them might do, obviously that is the case, right? But I think that a majority of them that were featured in this list do not create any kind of, you know, OF content or any kind of content like, you know, she's saying here, like almost she does, you know. I think, if anything, they're more safe for work than Denims, which I think is pretty insane. And also, she very cleverly avoids missing out a lot of the IRL people as well who do that kind of content, including like, you know, Amaranth and people like that. She doesn't mention that a single time, apart from Asian Bunny X here, who she literally just said that she respected. And obviously, I think it is due to her getting a little bit scared and a little bit threatened by obviously 2D women, because obviously they are outperforming her in terms of metrics and things, and so she feels the need to go and attack them, which I think is quite funny because, again, obviously just do better, right? But many people have been kind of going after that, right? And well, it seems that we got another response from Ruragaki the Rat, which is one of the people that was mentioned in this list here, who she pretty much straight up called a Nazi, which I thought was pretty interesting. Obviously, she starts talking about the fact that, you know, she started VTubing to be very edgy, political, and depressed, saying people like me only for that, starts to get a better life and do content that makes me smile. People are angry and calling me a LARPer/faker. Everyone started hating on me because I do silly content. Obviously, you know, this isn't like indirect response to it, but it definitely seems like, you know, they're pointing out you know, how happy they are outside right now, and you know, they're doing much better. Obviously, they're saying maybe I'm just a larper who wants attention and the copy of other people. But yeah, the truth is, I'm happy to be alive. Life is so cool. I don't want to be the girl failure goon aesthetic. I hate that, and I want to get better. So again, obviously, she's saying she wants to improve there. But a lot of you know, people have been supporting her, and obviously that comes off the back of Denims, you know, just attacking her and saying that she's a goon tuber and that she's a Nazi, which I thought was pretty interesting. And obviously as well, you got people like Banana Juju, who's been very outspoken in the space, and she's a great content creator, right? Talking about this, saying, where's the logic in an OF ho calling a VTuber Nazi goonabait? What the hell is wrong with this retard? Which is quite funny. Obviously, a lot of people as well commenting on that, saying, I like how she ignores that half the channels aren't even VTubers. This makes sense. And yeah, as I said, I feel like she is kind of threatened by a lot of the VTubers on the list, which I think is incredibly funny, because, again, it just kind of shows off, you know, the kind of insecurities that she has with the VTubers. Obviously, as well, they're saying as well, if everybody's a Nazi, then nobody's a Nazi. It says you got it. And yeah, obviously a lot of people are kind of angry at that term being used, which is 100% correct, because it just becomes this situation where it gets overused for people that aren't actually the case. Because sure, there is a lot of people out there who are, you know, Nazis and things, and obviously it's absolutely terrible, right? But whenever you start labeling some cute anime 2D girl as one of those, it starts to get a little bit ridiculous, because yes, of course, you can say that you don't like them, or that you think that their views are a little bit weird or whatever, right? But I think it's a little bit too far to be going and calling it like every single VTuber you see on this guy's following list a Nazi. I think it's pretty crazy. So again, it's just insane, and I think that obviously it kind of just like starts to lose the meaning of the word whenever someone just goes ahead and starts calling people that non-stop. said, well, she did do something that you're never supposed to do. And then, yeah, said exactly. Said, what does she mean by Nasugunabe? Just because we're anime? Okay, that's it. Throwing in the Lego brick. So yeah, she's been responding to a lot of the comments as well, saying Juju is Denims. OnlyFans is literally the only place that she's able to earn money. Now the lawsuit hanging over her head. Said no clue who she is, just stumbled across this over my morning coffee, thought it was funny. So yeah, Banana Juju has zero idea who Denims is and her background, which I'm sure they'll be quite funny to find out even more about them. But yeah, since jealousy is most likely the cause, she's upset that VTubers look better than her. I think the OF well is drying up. There's many hoes trying to fight for pennies. Said, why, yes, I mean, look at me, I'd be jealous too. Which, yeah, obviously making fun of that as well too. But yeah, so isn't she famously stupid? There's no clue, but her clip confirms that. So again, obviously a lot of people have been clowning on Denims, which is extremely funny to see. And obviously as well, you got people like Aventio. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, by the way. But obviously he's been involved quite a bit in the VTuber space recently, I've seen on Twitter at least, and he's been talking about it, saying I have nothing against her, but like half of these VTubers are people I personally think it's impossible to goon to unless you like political rhetoric spoken to you, which yeah, 100% true. You know, no one is gooning to someone talking about politics and internet drama, right? I think that a lot of people just don't really care about that side of things, and obviously care about their content. The same with things like, for example, it doesn't even have to be political, VTubers, but like people like Chibi Doki, for example. No one's going to. Have you seen that model? That would be pretty impossible to do anything to that. You know, I feel like it's like one of the most messed up models I think I've ever seen, like in a good way. But obviously, you guys know exactly what Chibi Doki's model looks like, bro. No one is gooning to that, which I think is quite funny. They say you should have something against her. She's not a good person. Don't believe me, ask Nux for more information. Said I'm here to have fun and make stupid jokes. That's it. Not my business what you or other people think of it. So best part is we literally did nothing, lol. We're just existing, minding our own business. And yeah, that is the main kind of like takeaway from this, right? It's the fact that no one has kind of gone after Denims. No one in the VTuber community. I mean, maybe you could argue that maybe Kyosha or someone. I'm not sure if they've talked about her before. I could assume they probably did, knowing that they know her. But again, obviously she just attacks VTubers in general, right? Which I think is pretty crazy because none of them have done anything to her, but she decides to go and label them as goontubers. Like, for example, people like Iron Mouse, like Layna Lazar, Lucy Paya, Shylily. They don't talk about this kind of stuff. They don't interact with anything that Denims talks about, but she decides to go on the offensive, which I think is pretty weird. And obviously that's why a lot of people are finding it very, very weird, right? And obviously you got like Layna as well saying, OMG, I made it, Ma, trying to make it like a positive out of a pretty negative situation. Obviously we talk about legal mindset as well, responding to this saying, Denims is not only going to lose her lawsuit in epic fashion, but just kick the literal hornet's nest by attacking VTubers as a whole, including many that are unwholly deserving of the slurs that she slings at them. VTuber fans are about to launch the Ninth Crusade for their Oshi. He also continues down here, which I kind of wanted to add on, which was this also confirms the theory that underlying the real suppression of VTubers on Twitch is due to OnlyFans girls like Denims fearing that VTubers will steal their pay pigs without understanding the wild difference between VTuber fans and OnlyFans gooners. They say, imagine being an OnlyFans girl and attacking VTubers as gooner bait. Said the only person she complimented was the other OnlyFans thought, which is pretty interesting. A lot of YouTubers are super far left and support people like her and Hamas Piker. Not sure why she would attack them, because they're mentally weak and insecure. And that's 100% true, Legal Mindset is hit the nail on the head there, saying, I don't understand this hate for VTubers. Some use the model VTuber model because they're not comfortable showing their face. So why am I seeing more hate for them, especially from an OF girl? It said insecurity from very insecure girls who believe value is solely deprived from appearance. They're very sad and predictable breed, which naturally gravitates towards OF. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been kind of calling this out, as well as Smugglana too, saying I love the stuttering and bumbling when she read Iron Mouse's name, because obviously she knew that she was wrong when talking about it, but again she just decided to continue because she just started that rant. And I just think it's hilarious how stupid she just made herself look during this entire clip, and how many people have been clowning on her for the past couple of days now over on Twitter, because it is a ridiculous clip. It's so stupid. It's something that should have never been said, but again, it's happened, and it's gotten pretty bad now. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.